This is a video that I wanted to watch. I actually don't know what's been going on with Zepla lately. Unfortunately, I haven't been seeing many of her like past videos, but she releases stuff from time to time that I'm interested in. I just haven't gotten to catch up with it. Compares to toxic players in FF14 and WoW. Like I don't know when the last time she played WoW was. I think she jumped into it a little bit in maybe Shadowlands when it came out. I always want to say Shadowbringers. Dang it! But I just kind of wanted to check it out. What is this? Spartan Primal is toxic and aggressive to suggest that someone consider using raid food and meld their gear for savage content.
Really?
A mage you should consider fully melding and food. Your HP is a tad low. No! Is new and learning. No? Why so toxic? It's not toxic to ask basic level things like raid food. I don't think that was toxic. This not being toxic, to be honest, that is one of the basic things about savage raiding. He said consider, and I think that's kind of a suggestion, to be honest. It's practice, though, and wasn't too forced when you do endgame stuff, full melts and food. Is that right? Are typically expected. Practice. Well, it depends. Like it doesn't.
He didn't like. He wasn't being forceful. I agree. I think he was just like making a suggestion. But then, like, if he's new to the raid or whatever, then.
But that's why you can make a group and call it a practice group and call it like a
especially if it's not like a static
or
like
group or
your
whatever.
own group, right?
Yeah, like
if you have that issue, why are you in Party Finder? Like
in WoW, you can't choose your group to be like practice, clear, or whatever. You have no option for practice. You have to like write it down, like first time clear or whatever. Like you have to decide that for yourself. And this way, when there's like a more established system, if it was like a practice group, I would consider it okay to not require everyone to do it. However, practice is done a lot better when you're at 100% because you know that you're not being hindered by mechanical stuff. You're just being hindered by the fact that you don't know the mechanics. So my personal opinion is that like even in the practice groups, you want to have those things at 100% because then you know that like if you wipe, it's kind of your fault. Like not fault, but like it's about the mechanics not being fulfilled. It's not about like the DPS checks being missed because you don't have your food on or because I don't know the healers had to res you and they lost the DPS or whatever.
Okay, so this was a tweet from Llama Todd. He tweeted that apparently on Primal, it is toxic and aggressive to suggest that someone consider using raid food and meld their gear for savage content.
They did say you should consider, but at the same time, it's not toxic. This is not necessarily, no.
It's practice. No, I haven't read this yet, so I don't know what this is going to say. This is on Primal Data Center. So, someone says,
it's Primal.
Red Mage, you should consider fully melding and food. Your HP is a tad low. You should consider. So they're being very polite here. Okay. They say,
and at least you should like meld yours. At least meld your stuff at least.
Okay, to be honest, I was one of the people who hasn't been melding like the gear for the longest time. But like the jobs that I would enter like high-end content with, I will make sure that they're melded. Like my other jobs, they have like fully unoptimized gear, and I don't go anywhere with them.
Yeah, if you're just doing regular dungeon, that's fine.
But
if you're doing like I don't even know what they're doing right now.
This is Savage. I don't know which.
Then if you're doing Savage, then you should definitely be.
No, what is this though? This is.
I can't see.
Who's this guy? Oh, this is the Endwalker. Is this the Endwalker boss, right? With the whips. What's his name? The first boss, right?
Yeah, the Pandemonium one.
Yeah.
It's new and learning. No, says the original person. Purple says, why so toxic? Blue says, it's not toxic to ask basic level things like raid food. Now, you can see from the background, they are on the first Savage fight of the tier.
What kind of sucks a little bit in Final Fantasy is that you can't trade within the dungeon. Like in WoW, if you don't have any food, someone can open a trade and they will give you everything you need. It kind of sucks that like if you want to do this in Final Fantasy, you have to like get out, like port yourself out or exit the duty or whatever, and everyone, excuse me, and everyone has to exit with you for you to be able to get these things.
If he's new and learning, I don't think Savage would be the first place you want to learn something. Right?
No,
you might want to start off with Extreme first or something.
Here, Eric Thaonio's fight. Green says, I don't think that was toxic. Yellow
the
says,
only
this
thing
is
that
not
Green's ever
being
said.
toxic, to be honest. That's one of the basic things about savage raiding. Pink says, he said consider. I think that's a kind suggestion, to be honest. Purple, our hungry
I guess
person,
purple
says
is
it's
the
practice.
the red mage.
No.
Yeah.
Who didn't.
Yeah.
Pink says,
Person in
and
denial.
wasn't too forced. Blue, when you do endgame stuff, full melds in food. Purple says, you realize that, right?
He means like this.
Practice.
You're talking about
Maybe
practice.
this was practice true, but at the same time, how are you gonna know if you made a mistake? Like if you're the reason for not meeting the DPS
Yeah,
check
exactly.
or whatever, or if it's
You can't even see the mechanics.
Blue
You
says
can't even
practice
get there.
makes no
Yeah.
difference. Green, let's not dwell. He clearly didn't mean for it to come off as aggressive. Oh, we have a peacemaker here. Purple, well it did. Pink, no need to fight.
I would leave this group. to be honest.
Blue, it's
Like
not
that.
aggressive. Purple, to me it was.
Sorry.
Oh!
It's
My bad,
expectation.
Sorry.
Red, can we go? LOL. Move on now, okay.
Yeah, I'd be red.
I mean-
like, yo, let's go.
Are these all randoms in a party finder? Because this is like an incredibly
Yeah.
civil discussion, to be honest. Like, I'm just looking at everybody that was involved in this discussion, and like, from someone that used to play WoW, I'm like, holy shit.
And WoW, like somewhere around. Okay, I was gonna point with my finger. Somewhere around here. Can you even see my mouse? Yeah, somewhere around here, like heads would be rolling and mothers would already be involved in conversations and whatnot.
We have like 5 different peacemakers in the party
Right?
who are all like, he didn't mean for it to come off as aggressive. He's new. He's learning. Someone else is like, he said consider. I think that's a kind suggestion, to be honest. It's like, this is not.
It's like this was probably not early morning, and it wasn't like late at night
Right.
either. Like it was like somewhere, I don't know, probably mid afternoon.
12:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah, I told you. I didn't even look at it. I was like, no, that's Zepla's stream though. That is not their
Oh,
stream.
sorry,
I meant, okay, never mind, forget that. Didn't happen. I meant like this conversation, like it looks like it wasn't like a particularly stressful part of anyone's day. It
Yeah.
just looked like a perfect time where everyone's just
Everybody
able
had
to be like,
time. Everybody had time.
okay.
Not how things work in other MMOs, dude. It's so crazy because, like, everybody's so nice. Everybody's so nice. Like, I'm imagining how this discussion would go in WoW. Hey, hey, mage. Put on food or we'll kick you. No,
True.
they're gone. They got kicked.
That's true.
That's the whole... This whole conversation that
Wouldn't
happened.
have even made it that
And
far.
you kick
It's
you
crazy
like
to
in
me.
WoW you will kick someone by everyone like voting for it, and the worst part about it is everyone will vote yes just because that's like the daily dose of opportunities for you to like filter out some of your own frustration. It's like I'm gonna like yes, I'm gonna make this person's day a little bit worse. This is kind of like a
No problem.
coping mechanism to kick someone.
Me that like I guess I just have a different perspective on this because
Canadian,
this
eh?
was clipped as an example of like someone being toxic when he's surrounded by super civil people. No,
I don't know. I'm yet to meet a Canadian who is never ever toxic.
What do you mean?
Dude,
What do you
like
mean?
I hear you in raids when no one else hears you. He's not a stereotypical Canadian, let me tell you that.
I am
Nobody's
not
saying,
nice.
well, oh well, if you won't eat food, then why don't you eat shit? Because that's probably how this would go in WoW. So...
I love
So-
that.
Same.
I mean, look, it's true.
Depends on the
It's
day. I
true.
might
The
not have
guy
the patience for this.
is
I'm like, yo,
way,
bro, just
way
put on
off
some food.
base, and
No, but isn't this like peer pressure to be nice? Like, if everyone else is just like calm and collected, do you want to be the jerk face who's just gonna be like,
Depends on my mood.
damn it,
If
put on the damn food?
Yeah.
You know? Like,
If they catch me on a bad day, or if I had like a bad group prior to this, I'm like, nah, bro, I'm gone. I'm out of here. I won't even stay.
He has no idea what he's talking about. Yes, you should consider fully melding and having food when you're going into Savage. Yeah,
Fair.
you should consider it.
Fair.
Okay, they're not even
Fair.
saying like get the best top of the line food, get the best top of the line melts. They're not saying that.
At least melt some nines in your. At
I
least,
would-
at least melt some material nines on yourself.
I
You don't
would
have to get the 10.
I would put on my gatherer's food that I use for like an
Same.
experience in the dungeons.
That's
Be
what
like,
it
here's
matters.
food. That's legitimately all I
Yeah.
have in my bag.
They
Unfortunately,
can't tell what
Right now.
what food you use.
Can't?
No, they can't.
Really?
No,
Oh,
they can't.
good to know.
And it's a thing that people often do when they're asked to do anything at all, even in the nicest possible way. You're always gonna have people that get really defensive about it because you told them to do something, and their knee-jerk reaction is to say, "Oh no, don't tell me how to play. You don't play my
Green
stuff."
is too nice.
He even
Yeah.
admitted. He even admitted, to me it was. When people were like, that wasn't aggressive, he said, to me it was. And I think that's telling. It was actually a little bit of self-reflection there that I didn't expect. He acknowledges that not everybody else thinks that it was aggressive. It's only him. He's realizing he had a wrong reaction to this by saying, to me.
He also said was.
Wait, what?
He also said it was to me. It didn't say to me it is toxic. He said it was. So
Yeah.
this might be a little bit of a
Yeah,
redemption
there's a little bit of a-
journey here.
yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of time to reassess.
Only
Process
me. This was aggressive. Like, I think he was actually starting to come around. When, in the end, move on now, okay? Like, realizing, okay, I'm being kind of a dickhead. I think that's what happened here. So,
He's still not melted, so.
No food.
I'd really...
Just carry on.
I don't think
Carry
it's...
on.
What did Lamatad say? It's toxic and aggressive to suggest that someone consider using raid food. It's because the person asked why it's so toxic. Yeah, I mean, it's... Oh, sweet summer child. Is this your first MMO? Did you start with Final Fantasy 14? This is what you think toxic is. My dear.
Right?
You have really been, you've been treated extremely kindly by people in this game, if that's
For
your bar
sure.
for
Yeah.
toxicity. Honestly. It sounds like people... The guy wouldn't have survived MW2 lobbies. First online game ever. Yeah, of course. You can't post screenshots like this without blocking the names, okay? If
No.
you ever have something
No, this, even in Final Fantasy, this would turn into a witch hunt for sure.
You gotta scream that person. Find
stupid
them
happen
right
to you
now.
in Party Finder, please do what Lamata did here and block the names first before posting it on Twitter and sending me the link so we can all make fun of it. Just block the
Definitely.
names first, but then send me the link, please, because this is hilarious.
Thinking about like all the people who were in this conversation watching this video being like, dang, we made it!
I'm taking screenshots.
Yeah, I think toxic is very
Unedited.
overused. Yeah. The bar for calling someone toxic in FXV is on the floor. I tend to agree. And that's good. Okay? It's good. Like, don't get me wrong. This is fantastic. It's great that the bar is, like, people are not used to being treated like shit in this game. That's good. We want that. We should be proud that it went this way. Okay? There's even, like, a resolution here at the end where we're all gonna move on.
Her chat's like, leave it on the floor.
Nobody's gonna get, kicked. We're gonna move on and continue to play together. This is excellent. So I mean, I look
But
at
it's
this
safe to say they
conversation
didn't
and I
get
see an
clear.
example of like a fairly mature community overall.
We don't know.
So
For sure did not get
it's
it
not
clear.
so bad. It's not so bad. It's not so bad. Oh, it's color coded. So all shades of red are DPS. Green are healer and blue are tanks.
Okay,
Oh,
I
I
see.
see.
Well.
Well, that adds another layer to this
Yeah, it does.
conversation
It
for
does.
sure.
Coming from WoW, FF14 was Whiplash. Let me tell you a story, and I'm sure I've told this story before. When we had a really huge, our most recent, I should clarify, our most recent really huge wave of WoW players come to FF14. I had more than one person tell me that they thought everybody in Final Fantasy 14 was being sarcastic to them by saying, hey, good job. Like, hey, you did a really good job on that. And it took them months to realize, wait a minute.
Yeah, they're being legit.
That's so sad.
Right?
Like, imagine that person's experience logging in every day and everyone just specifically targets
And he's
him with
hating everybody.
sarcasm.
And he's
Yeah.
hating everybody for it.
Good job.
He's like, yo.
They really meant I was doing a good job. I didn't believe them. I thought they were shitting on me. I had multiple people tell me this, I swear. That they didn't believe that people were actually being that nice. Like, people saying, hey, am I doing okay on this boss? Yeah, you're doing great. Yeah, you're doing really good. We're all really impressed.
Bravo.
But the way people mean it is like, you're doing
And you leave the group ashamed of your own performance, being like, oh.
really good. We're so impressed. It's just, you need like recovery. You need to recover from what you've been through, man. I came over from WoW and I thought people were being sarcastic or mean till someone clarified. I nearly cried. Look, somebody in the chat right now saying the same. Here's somebody else. Yeah, I 100% thought the same thing. Because people are sarcastic like that in M+. There's people in the chat right now. This happened in the...
Someone in her chat is like, I need you all to start being mean. This is making me uncomfortable.
That was right, thank you, even if I think it's sarcasm. Yeah, I usually do that too. But I can't tell when people are being sarcastic. At all. Ever. I'm really bad at noticing sarcasm, so...
Well, it's hard to read that through text.
Yeah,
Right?
Well, yeah.
I don't pick up on that real well. Coming from WoW to FF14, it took me a while to actually type in party chat in dungeons because of WoW.
Because you're afraid that, like, in WoW, like, when you type something, your preset mindset is, like, everything you say can and will be used against you, basically. And, like, whatever you say, you have to, like, say it really carefully because it might just get you booted out of the group.
No, like, for me, it was hard because this is, like, my real, like, 3D MMO. Like, my first MMO was Ragnarok, so it's, like, 2D. So I was really having a hard time with, like, the AR dungeons, and I used to do so bad. Like, I'll admit, I was terrible. My learning curve didn't come to, like, level 60.
Right.
And that's when I started getting better. So, like, I can understand why people were, like, mean to me. I was pretty bad.
But still, like...
It's okay. It's okay, you're safe here. You're safe here now. Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. No one is toxic in FF. Yeah, that's actually what I said. Yeah, what I said was that no one has ever been toxic in Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
And if you were toxic before, then when you install FF14 on your computer, it cleanses your soul like a spiritual shower, and you're no longer capable of telling lies or saying.
That's very cultist. Like,
Yeah,
just
I was gonna go with that because, like, I used to get called out so bad in my earlier dungeons. I just didn't even bother putting it in, like, the general chat. I just have it on, like, events so I don't see what everybody's saying to me because I just got so paranoid of people talking
Oh my
shit.
god.
Saying anything mean ever again. Yeah. So.
Even asked for clarification with a few people, and they were like, "No, man, I genuinely think you're doing well." Oh, like yeah, I mean, I for sure wasn't used to it, and I do remember, like the first few dungeons when I would like queue with strangers. Yes, people would definitely tell me to turn my stance on. But like that would be the moment like that they realize that I'm new, and I would normally think that it's gonna take me like 3 or 4 groups to go through where they will allow me to finish the dungeon. Like it took me like a few completed dungeons to realize that I wasn't getting booted for being new, and that was for me that was new because like in WoW, if you're like a new healer or a new tank, and if you queue into any sort of not just endgame, but if you just say that you're new to that class, God forbid you like boost it or something like that, and you're like, okay, you know, I'm new to I don't know healing or whatever. Like you will be gone from the group. It will be unanimous. Like everyone will just like vote kick you, and you will. Not always, but
they let you hear. That's why I like Final Fantasy. Like the groups are so nice. They just let you play. They let you like learn, and they're willing to take the time. To, like,
because there's so many like new people. It's like a country with a lot of immigrants where it's not strange to be an immigrant, and everyone will just like give up on like.
Weird analogy, but alright, I get it.
Come on, like is it not like that? I mean.
Well, now it is. Yeah, I would assume.
Well, yeah, like with so many waves of people, like you're either an immigrant who is now accustomed and like acclimated, and you have understanding for like the other ones coming in, or you are also new and everyone else around you is new, so you're not shitting on anyone and no one's shitting on you, so it's perfect.
Wait, is it sarcasm? No. What? 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 Cleanse me. What? Mine was a spiritual bubble bath.
No, for sure it's different. It's a different experience. And unfortunately, you see something
one
like
time
this.
though, like talking about
like WoW people, someone who hasn't ever played Final Fantasy, like they would look at that chat bubble thing or whatever, and they would think that it's either sarcasm or that people are just trolling.
Toxic people in a Final Fantasy game. One time, I knew somebody that told me that he was friends with a GM, and anytime people did something he didn't like, he would say that actually his GM friend is standing right next to us, but he's invisible so we can't see him. But he's actually in the game right now, but because he has GM powers, we can't see him in the game, but we better watch out.
I used to say that when I used to play Ragnarok online.
What, really?
Yeah.
What the hell? Is that like a thing that you say?
Yeah.
What? Is that for real? Like what?
But I didn't have a GM
like
friend. I know
no,
people who would say
is that
that,
like a thing for people to say?
Like in my experience, yes.
That's
Not in
like the
Final
first
Fantasy,
thing
not in
I've
Final
ever heard of
Fantasy,
it.
obviously, but like in others, like smaller games, like in Ragnarok, that was like a frequent thing to say for sure.
I see.
And like when you're like people doing something bad, like that's disadvantage to you. You'd be like talking shit like that.
I see. I understand. It's like threatening to have like a big brother, but in reality you have like 3 younger sisters at home. Being like pretending like you have someone to defend you. I get it. Never did that though.